it's John McCabe. Welcome to the show. Hey, welcome to the John A. McCabe Show, where it's all about accelerating your authority in your business or field of expertise. And I do that by helping entrepreneurs, business owners, authors, experts, and speakers get seen, get heard, get noticed on any device, anywhere, anytime, with as little as 15 hours worth of effort, also known as the Authority Acceleration Blueprint. Now, on today's show, Hot Seat Coaching Thursday, I have my friend and fellow coach, Joey Ragona, coming on to join me as we prepare to answer any questions you may have regarding your business, attracting more clients, converting sales, systems, strategies, and so much more. Now, if you want to take your business to that next level, maybe you're not getting the results that you were looking for in your business, or you just don't know what to do or where to get started, and you would like to get some coaching advice, then you're in the right place at the right time, as Joey and I are here to serve and support you over the next hour. Now, for most entrepreneurs, we want to create our own life, create our own path, and do what we can to reach our desired outcome, which is generally freedom. Freedom to choose what we want to do, when we want to do it, and with whom we want to do it. A life that's full of options and choices, where we worry less about money and more about the quality of time that we spend with others. Now, a great way to make that happen is to leverage other people's knowledge, time, and skill sets. Now, step one is to reaching your financial freedom and your freedom life is to realize that you can't do it alone. Working with coaches or being involved in masterminds is a great way for entrepreneurs to move their business forward. Now, a coach can help you shorten the time frame to get from where you are to where you want to be, while being part of a mastermind is meant to bring entrepreneurs together, all with the goal of helping each other move ahead with their businesses. Now, the second step to create the life you envision for yourself as an entrepreneur is to implement systems into your business so you can streamline your operations, leverage those systems, and free up your time to focus on your family, having fun, and the highest leverage activities in your business. You know, the activities that get you the biggest return for your time invested, the ones that make you the money. Now, sometimes we just don't know what systems we need, how to implement those systems, or even have the time to find out what is needed. Now, working with a coach or consultant that understands, uses, and specializes in systems that can streamline your operations can help you save time, aggravation, and make you more money. So today, Joey and I are here to answer your questions, suggest strategies, and systems that can help you move your business forward. So be sure to stick around, because when I come back, I'm going to be joined by my good friend and fellow coach, Joey Ragona, and we're here to serve and support you with all of your questions. Hey, thanks for joining me on today's show, Hot Seat Coaching Thursday, where I spend an hour helping other entrepreneurs, business owners, authors, experts, and speakers with their business. I provide advice, knowledge, strategies, and suggest systems that they can use to implement and move their business forward. Today, I'm fortunate to have my good friend and fellow coach, Joey Ragona, join me on the show. Joey and I met probably back in 2011 or so, and when we both joined the same mastermind, even though we were in different markets, working on different things, we ended up taking a very similar path. Now, over the past 5 years, Joey and I have become trusted authorities when it comes to new world marketing strategies and implementation. Joey is also an in-demand high-performance coach and email digital marketing consultant with a proven track record, and is behind the success of small business owners and entrepreneurs because of his national level of connections and business skills. Myself, I focus on helping you accelerate your authority in your business or field of expertise, and I do that typically by helping entrepreneurs, business owners, authors, experts, and speakers get seen, get heard, get noticed on any device, anywhere, anytime, using proven strategies, delivering tremendous value, and leveraging your time, content, and new positioning assets all within 100 days. So please give it up for my good friend Joey Ragona with some likes, love, shares, and a virtual flurry of thumbs up and heart icons across the screen. How you doing, Joey?
Hey, I'm doing absolutely incredible today, man. How about you?
I'm doing well, thanks, and happy Thanksgiving to all of our U.S. friends. If anyone is actually watching this versus watching all the football games that are on today, or spending time with your family, but if anyone does come on and join us, we're here for the next hour to answer any questions that you may have with respect to your business.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't see anybody on me at the moment, Joey, but let's just get started. Anyway, we'll just do some back and forth about various topics, and hopefully we'll provide some value until somebody actually comes on and asks a question.
Sure.
So
What are you working on these days, John?
actually, I'm prepping to for a talk that I'm doing down in San Diego. So I'm speaking at a Go Live and Profit event with Mike Koenigs, Mike Filsain, Ed Rush, Pam Hendrickson, Lisa Sasevich, and a few other people are going to be speaking there as well.
Nice.
So I have a 15-minute talk on basically using Facebook Live, my strategy, and then I'm also part of a panel. So I'm putting together the talk. Even it's a TED style, so there's no pitching and selling from the stage. Right. But I just put together a free download for individuals where they can actually understand how I structure my Facebook Live show, how I use it to get engagement, get likes, get people to actually take some action. And then from that, I've actually created a course that walks somebody through how to actually do it and piece together their entire Facebook Live show, from start to finish. So that's primarily what I'm focused on. I have some clients in the real estate game that are looking to get some marketing systems built and created.
Right.
Primarily, a lot of my focus and my attention right now is on accelerating your authority. So the strategy behind that, and then using Facebook Live obviously is a big component because it's all about leveraging the content that you create and repurposing. So do one thing and repurpose it for 4, 5, 6 other things. So you're just leveraging that content. So it's all about repurposing and leveraging.
Exactly.
And yourself?
Yeah, I'm kind of doing the same thing. Is more creating digital products. I just did a webinar / training on the weekend about lead generation on using Facebook's primarily, and then defining your ideal customer, so you know who to target, so you can again leverage your time and go after the right people and get the right highly qualified people into your funnel, and then be able to automate that part of it, so you don't have to sit on the phone trying to do cold calls and selling your product or your service. The whole system in the background does all that for you, and really all you're doing is just kind of putting out Facebook ads and testing to see which ones are going to work for you to bring in those leads. So that was kind of a cool project. That was a 10-hour training, and
Nice.
And I spent the next 4 days editing all the video and put that up into a membership site, and now that's going to be available as a product. So that's maybe something we can talk about too today, maybe on how to create a digital product very quickly and repurpose what you're doing. And so the next phase is to do it all over again. So there's a couple of other webinar trainings that I'll be doing in that space of building different parts of your business, and then cutting all that up and making it into a product as well.
So when you did your training, you said you focused some on Facebook ads. So have you been using Facebook ads consistently right now?
Sorry?
Are you using Facebook ads consistently right now?
Yeah, so I'm not the Facebook ad expert. I just follow the models, right, and model who's doing really well in them. But that's really primarily what I'm using. I'm also, now that Google has opened up kind of the same type of targeting that Facebook has. It's always had targeting, but now it's getting to the degree and I guess depth of what Facebook is doing. Again, I haven't really played with it in the last little while, but I'm going to be going after AdWords again too. But primarily the answer is yes, that Facebook, as you know, is just, you can target pretty much anybody.
I've played with them, and again, I'm not a guru. I follow I listen to a lot of digital marketer stuff, and I try to follow what they're doing. And my good friend was just on the show. My good friend Victoria Griggs was just on the show last week, I believe, last Friday. And she is a Facebook guru. I mean, she works with people like John Asraf, Mike Koenig. She sets up and manages their Facebook accounts for them.
That's awesome.
For their ads for them. And she gave some great tips that I'll be looking to implement. But I'm far from a guru when it comes to Facebook ads. But really, I think a lot of it really boils down to the messaging again.
Yep.
And everything comes back to that messaging, that foundation, really understanding your target market, their frustrations, their pains, their fears, and what their desired outcome is. I think a lot of it boils back to that. Or it comes
Yeah,
back to
one of
that?
the things that, as a marketer outside the business, again, and these are things that I'm just testing. So,
Yeah.
don't take my advice for gospel here. I only play an evangelist on TV.
Yeah.
But really, I think that Facebook is about, um, I see a lot of ads, as you see, go through the Facebook feed, right? And I think that it's interrupting a lot of us. And yeah, the message is very important, but at the same time, we have to look at it that what are people, why are they on Facebook?
Hmm.
They're not on there really to get sold something.
No.
Like if you go to Best Buy or you go to Amazon or something, you're there to buy something. So if an ad pops up, you're like, okay, well, let me check this out, right? With Facebook, it's a little bit different. You're on there to socialize and whatever you're doing on Facebook. So our ads have to be a little bit more creative in my mind. And I could be totally off base with this because I'm just testing how I'm going to approach this. But if you enter that conversation in a different way rather than the salesy way, I think you'll have a lot more engagement in what you're doing with Facebook ads. So
Are you
I gotta
driving?
test that out.
Are you driving people more to blogs on your website, and then using the blogs to try to get people to take some action?
Yeah, so in the last little while, I haven't done that. No, this is just a new theory that I want to try to test now. It was more, driving them to the opt-in page and here, get this thing for free and all that kind of stuff, right? And it worked okay. But now, because my focus is truly on, living up and walking the talk that I taught on Saturday, which is, trying to get more leads in on a not on a sales type of hard pounding type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to test that theory to see if you just give people pure value, what it's all about. We all know this. This is just not news, but really, how can we do it in that fashion by sending them to something else rather than go opt in and ask them for something up front, rather than giving them something up front and then in that process. Then we can maybe sell them something down the road, right? So it's not really an opt-in. They still have to maybe give you their email address if they want to, like at the bottom of a page or something. You've got, maybe a really cool thing that they could look at, and then at the bottom it might say, hey, if you like this, opt in here and I can give you more stuff. But they don't have to opt in order to get what you promised in the Facebook ad.
So in the ad, you are truly driving them to just some value stuff, whether it be a video or whether it be like a blog content, but it's really something of value. They don't have to opt in. They're just, they get the content, they get to consume it. And if they don't want to take any other action, they don't have to.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's where I think the most value is, at least in my space, because as a coach, that's how I kind of get clients, is just by demonstrating my value and demonstrating, my strength, what I can do for people. So when I put them into a room for a whole day and I'm not charging them $1,000 an hour, right? They're there for the whole day and we have a great time, and there's no sales pitch at the end going, hey, do you want to sign up for my coaching? It just proves to them what I can do. It proves to them who I am as a person and if they can vibe and all that. So I figure, hey, if I'm doing that inside of the room with, 8 people, then why don't I do it with 8,000 people and send them to a page and say, here's who I am and here's the value I can give you and check this out. And then it goes from there, right?
So are you, when you do your day sessions or your day seminars or masterminds or whatever it is you're doing for a day, are you actually charging people to attend a nominal fee just to, they pay, if they pay attention, or is it completely free?
Yeah, so there's a fee. So it's $297 for the day. And like you said, when people put their money where their mouth is, they're going to be engaged more. So that's one of the reasons why I do that. Now, just to put it in context, like, my high-end coaching is $997 a month. So they're getting, that's 2 hours of my time. So it's really $500 an hour. So they're getting me for 10 hours for $297. I think it's a pretty darn good deal. And at the end of that day, I still give a complete guarantee because I'm so confident in what I do. It's not like I'm high on myself or anything. I'm just saying, you know what? If you have no value whatsoever after these 10 hours, I'll give you back your $300. But at least they were putting money out to engage in it.
Yeah, so they're more apt to pay attention, and you're just weeding out the tire kickers, really, the people that are going to waste your time, which is very much like a sales funnel would do that sort of process where, yeah, you can get something for free. Maybe you have a tripwire or a low cost item, and then eventually you'll get them into some higher priced items. But that process is really designed to only attract people that come out the bottom end that are truly serious about getting some help from you and not wasting your time. And
that's right.
Because you and I have both been through this at the very beginning. I mean, when we were starting in real estate investing, we wanted to help everybody, and we were always willing to give our time away and spend time and go for coffee and pick your brain, and let people pick our brains and all the other phrases. And it's just a waste of our time. Well, I won't say it's a waste of our time, but very few of those people are actually people that take action or follow through with a lot of the stuff that you talk about. So it's really valuing our time more than it is anything else.
Yeah, because there's a point where you really want to help people who are willing to take action, because that's where we can give the most value, is by giving our expertise and from all the mistakes that we've made and the stuff that is working, and just pass that down. Yeah. You and I both work with high level people. We've spent thousands and thousands of dollars to be in masterminds. We continue to do that.
Yep.
And all that stuff, a lot of my clients really don't have the time to sit there on their iPads every night and consume audio and video and read all the books that I've got that back there, and they just don't have the time to do it. And even if they did, they would become more overwhelmed. Mm-hmm. And, well, which is the right strategy? This guy says this guy says that. Yeah. Well, that's my job. My job is to consume it all for you, because A, I'm a geek and I love doing it. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's where I really get a lot of my enjoyment.
Yeah.
And 2 is I absorb information really, really quickly. And 3 is I am going to be the most direct person you've ever met. So I don't really give a shit what you think. So I'm going to tell you the truth, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's what people need, is they need a kick in the ass sometimes. And here, go try this and go try that, without the false promise bullshit that's out there, right? It's like, you and I both don't know what's going to. We can give you the strategies. We know what's been working. But even as you said, maybe, a John Assaraf, like, it's working for him, but it may not work for us, but we can try it, right?
So all you can do is test it and try it.
Yeah. And so those are the people I love working with, that are willing to try it, understand that it's not a magic pill, but I've cut down a lot of that lead up to filtering out what they should try.
Yeah. And we learn all these strategies and we implement some of them, but it's really, a lot of times it's trial and error and making sure that you get the messaging is correct, and you're testing things, testing some words here, testing some colors there. There's a lot of testing that can go on, and so there is no, you don't always hit a home run your first at bat. So it takes a few swings before you can actually get that home run.
Exactly.
All right, so if you guys are just joining us, being joined by my good friend and fellow coach, Joey Ragona. Over the past 5 years, Joey and I have become trusted authorities when it comes to New World marketing strategies and implementation. Joey's also an in-demand high-performance coach and email digital marketer consultant with a proven track record, and is behind the success of small business owners and entrepreneurs because of his national level of connections and business skills. Myself, I focus on helping people accelerate your authority in your business or field of expertise by helping entrepreneurs, business owners, authors, experts, and speakers get seen, get heard, get noticed on any device, anywhere, anytime, using proven strategies, delivering tremendous value, and leveraging your time, content, and new positioning assets all within 100 days. So today is a Q&A session where you get to ask us any questions you want with respect to your business, and we'll do our very best to answer those questions and help you move forward in your business. So if you have any questions, just type them in chat and we'll get to them during the show. And if we can't, we'll just answer them after the show has already been aired. And I can see that my mother has joined us, and welcome, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
And I see that there's some other people on the line, but I don't see their names. They're not okay. On my friends. Only my friends show up on my list. So if you're joining us, just type your name in the comment section so we can see who's joining us today. So, like I said, we're doing Q&A. So if you have any specific questions, other than that, we're just doing some general chat back and forth while we wait for some questions to come in. So I think that's one of what we were just talking about, giving the value. I've done a shift obviously with this show where all I've done on this entire 3 months so far is just give value. I've not. There's no pitching on the show. There's no selling. It's just bringing people, introducing people to potentially a new office or new audience, and just generating a lot of content. And so the plan is actually all of this content will be on my website, and then over the next 2 months, all of the pieces and components, the clips, the social media strategy, it'll be delivering huge value every single day from different episodes that I've done in the past. So I'll be using things like Facebook ads. I'll be using 3, 4, 5 different social media platforms, all to just deliver the value, deliver the message from one of the episodes that has already gone by that people didn't actually catch. So, driving them to the website, getting them to consume just, there'll be close to 70 different 1-hour episodes. And then, each episode is going to have 5 or 6 different clips, and, there's 2 different blogs from every episode. There's just going to be so much content on there. So Brilliant. I'll have a lot of stuff that, just driving people to the site. And of course, I'm sure you're doing the same thing. You drive people to the site, you're using Facebook pixels, so you know who they are and what actions they're taking, so that you can follow up and retarget them after the fact.
That's right. Yeah. So one of the biggest strategies that, I don't know if it's strategy or not, but I think my mind is around when you're targeting other people. I move them in and out I have different lists for people. So one of the big misconceptions or myths that people have about email lists and all that is that the bigger the list, the better. And I think that's not the way to do it. I think it's more about targeted lists where, it could be a small. I'm making money with a 700 person list. And that's pretty darn good when you're selling like little products. These are not like $1,000 products. Yeah. So I think it's pretty good, and it's because it's so targeted, and that my open rates are really big because I give it like you said, it's a constant delivery of value. Every single week, there's at least once a week, there's a piece of content value that goes out to them without a sales pitch whatsoever, and they're not used to being. Or it's I guess a breath of fresh air for them not to see like go buy my stuff. Right. And then when you do give them an offer, they trust you. They know that you're not just there to sell them and line your pocketbook. You're giving them true value that could better their lives because you've already given them some good value that has bettered their lives, right? And I think that a lot of entrepreneurs who are coming into the digital space or the online space again are being sold that whole dream of, put this thing up and make $1 million. Well, yeah, I guess you could make $1 million and do it, but you're not going to last. You're not going to be the Brendan Burchards and all these dudes who've been around for years and years and years, just giving value, right? So it takes a while to build to that level, and those are the people that I want to model. Those are the people I want to be around. I want to be known for the pure value of giving somebody something that is going to better their life, right? Yeah. So I'm willing to stick it out. I'm willing to not make immediate sales right away, and sometimes it's difficult, it's challenging. But if you're truly out there as an entrepreneur to change people's lives, it doesn't matter to you because the message is more important.
Yeah, you'll figure out ways to make money without always bombarding your list with buy now. Yeah. And I think not a lot of people, but a lot of the people that we follow don't do that. They provide value on a regular basis. And then when they do offer something for sale, we actually pay attention because it's not just sale after sale after sale. And I know that's one of the things when I started this program and started to make my shift here, as one of the things that I vowed that I wouldn't do is just do sales. It's going to be so much valuable content before I even ask for a sale that these people are just going to be overwhelmed with so much stuff that they can go through. And if they want my help, it's there's going to be opt-ins there. They can get more information. There's be things that they can purchase that can help them move forward with the specific strategies that I'm focused on. And just like
Right.
you, I'm narrowing down my focus. I know very clear, this is what I want to focus on. It's accelerating people's authority. And here's my blueprint.
Yep.
Here's my plan. Here's how it works.
Right.
And just sticking with that and not trying to do, get into building everybody's ClickFunnels campaigns and crafting all their
Right.
emails and building their websites. And it's like, no, here's my strategy. Here's my blueprint. I'm just going to focus on that.
Right, and that's the key, right, is that we know how to do all of these little components of the business, and we can jump into those opportunities or see another opportunity to go after some quick money. Let me just go build somebody some ClickFunnels stuff now and make whatever it is, make a couple $1,000 or $20,000 doing this over the next little while. But again, it's about chasing those opportunities, and it throws you totally off track. And I'm totally guilty of this. I've
Me
gone
too.
down so many different paths and going, oh, if I just do this is going to be so easy, some really cool money coming in, and it doesn't work, or even if it does work, I'm totally thrown off track. And now, over the past week, just by being focused again, and it's not that I haven't been focused for a long time, but I mean, just really being focused this week, I can see the power of just doing that, and the stress is like there's no stress whatsoever because you're just doing exactly what you're good at and what you love to do, and then you cut out the stuff that you can do, but you say that's just not who I am. Even when I was teaching the Facebook stuff or the lead generation and things, I'd show them what I know, but I go, you know what? Here's how what I would do is you get it to a point where it's working, and then you give it to someone else who can scale it way better than you can.
Yeah.
And so you put those onto other people that you can delegate your business. So your job as a owner or an entrepreneur is to really understand the marketing piece of it, because I don't really think that we should give our marketing to someone else to test for us, right, on our dime.
No.
I think that we should do it, and then, like your friend, give it to her. And once we say, hey, this ad's working, I'm getting some cool opt-ins, here's my, I'm getting a 10% conversion or whatever that is, can you scale this for me now and do whatever it is that you do, right?
Yeah.
But it's not her coming back to me back and forth going, what should I do? What's the market? How should I do it, right? It's us figuring it out, because I think we need to know our customer better than anybody else.
Mm-hmm. For sure. There's really nobody's going to know your customer like you do, like the business owner. There's someone that's actually dealt with them on a daily basis, understands their pains, fears, frustrations, ambitions, really, and has examples of success and transformations and those hero stories, and has been through it all. And they're the ones that are really, but what needs to happen is someone like you or I needs to go in and extract that information from the business owner to help them get clarity on on their message. They're going to know their client better than we are, but they're not going to understand how to phrase that or how to turn that around and turn it into an actual message, because they're just not aware of all this stuff.
Yeah, even the stuff that I was training on Saturday, the entire morning. So we spent 4 hours on that piece alone, doing research on the market, where to find the research, what to be asking your market, asking yourself, deeper questions, not because everybody kind of understands now what the ideal customer thing is, but they still don't get to the deep level. They don't understand what it is that they should be asking the customer, like you said. And a lot of them don't want to do the work, and it just freaks me out, because I mean, John, I don't know how many times, and we talked about copywriting a little bit before this call, and I don't know how many times that when I'm doing copy, a sales letter, or even a Facebook ad or whatever that is, I get stuck, right? I get stuck on what I should be saying, and I go back to the notes that I've taken and the surveys that I've taken and all the stuff that I write down and everybody asks me and tells me, and I take out phrases from exactly what they said. And just yesterday, it happened just yesterday as I was doing this one promotion for myself, that I reworded a couple of the bullet points using some of the stuff that I got from the surveys that I took. And because that's what people want, right? And I'm thinking, oh, okay, well, this is what the product delivers, and I'm using their language to tell them exactly what the product delivers.
Yeah. So
it's using their stuff. It's brilliant.
Yeah, how can it miss if this is exactly what they want, exactly what they asked for?
Right.
You're just phrasing it right back to them using their own language, and these are the benefits you're going to receive. It's like, geez,
Yeah.
this guy's talking directly to me.
Yeah.
Well, you are, because you're
in my head. It's in my head.
yeah, because I took your words right off the survey. And it's like, oh.
Exactly. And that's the power of this whole idea, is like, that's why I get so riled up and so excited about like learning more about my customers. Every time somebody asks me a question, or I'm in a chat, or I get an email, or whatever it is, like even if it's a question about, they're wanting to buy the product or something like that, and they're asking me about my coaching, I take all of those questions, and then in the next time I'm going to promote or talk about something, I make sure I hit those points, right? So your customers are your most valuable pieces of marketing gold, because they're the ones who are saying, we need to know this, so you should be answering this, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And so just after I do this reintro, what I want to talk about next is repurposing. So if you guys are just joining us, I'm joined by my good friend and fellow coach, Joey Ragona. Over the past 5 years, Joey and I have become trusted authorities when it comes to new world marketing strategies and implementation. Joey's also an in-demand high-performance coach and email digital marketing consultant with a proven track record, and is behind the success of small business owners and entrepreneurs because of his national level connections and business skills. Myself, I focus on helping you accelerate your authority in your business or field of expertise, and I do that by helping entrepreneurs, business owners, authors, experts, and speakers get seen, get heard, get noticed on any device, anywhere, anytime, using proven strategies, delivering tremendous value, and leveraging your time, content, and new positioning assets all within 100 days. So today is a Q&A session where you get to ask us anything with respect to the business, and we'll do our very best to answer the questions and help you move forward in your business. So if you have any questions or comments, just type them in the comments section. And as always, make sure that you like, love, and share this on your Facebook feed with all of your friends. So with respect to repurposing, now I know that you just went through that with your course. So do you just want to explain exactly what you did, and then I'll follow up with what I just put together in preparation for my talk down in San Diego.
Okay, so it was pretty simple to do. I first did a webinar, and so I'm using Webinar Jam, which automatically records the webinar. So it doesn't matter what you're really using. Just make sure that you have a recorded webinar, and usually that's a replay at the end of the day. So a lot of people will just send out that entire replay, right? So what I did was, because it was a 10-hour show, basically, I took that video and then I cut it up into the chunks of each segment that I was teaching from the course. And so that did a couple of things. One, it took out all of the dead air, all the ums and ahs and waiting around for the pages to load and stuff like that. It just kind of really condensed it down and made it look really cool. And then it became a product. So I then uploaded each one of those pieces of video to Kajabi, to the membership site, and created this membership site while I was kind of doing two things at once. I was like editing the video, right, and then I would render the video really quickly, and then I'd throw it over into Kajabi, because it takes a couple seconds to upload. So it was uploading over there while I was editing the next piece over here. So it's because otherwise it would probably have taken double the time to do that, right? So I'm kind of creating the outline or the course inside Kajabi at the same time. And I guess that's because I'm an ADD entrepreneur. I can kind of focus on the two things, and it worked really, really well. It took me 4 days to do it, but still now I've got a product that's sitting there out of one 10-hour session that I did on the weekend. So realistically, it took a week. Let's just pretend that in 1 week you could really have a product, and you're not going to do a 10-hour webinar maybe, right? You're going to do a 5-hour or maybe a 2-hour webinar that could turn into a product that you could sell for $100 or something. Very, very simple to do.
Yeah. And so what I did in preparation for my talk down in San Diego is I'm going to have something to give away for free. So I actually did an episode of one of my shows where I dissected my actual Facebook Live show. So every section of my show, I broke it down and talked about why I was doing it, what the strategy was. So I actually had an entire script. So I wrote my entire script for the show like I normally do. So I ended up taking, and then I have my timeline, so how each segment should take this long. So I have a show flow of what I'm talking about, so times and the show flow. So I put
Right.
together the times, my show flow, as well as my script. So that's my free giveaway. So, so where an individual can see how I structure my show based on the show flow, and they'll actually see the script. And in the script, it's me explaining what each section of the show is all about and why I do each section of the show. So that's my free giveaway. So then I actually took the show itself, the video from the show is just over an hour long, and I chopped it up, and every single segment that I talk about in the script, I cut into an individual video.
Nice.
And then I just doing this in Kajabi at the same time. I'm planning the structure within Kajabi, and I'm placing the videos of me talking about, here's what you do in this section, here's what you do in this section, here's why I talked about this, or here's why I do this. And then I took another show where it's an actual show. It was the show I did with my coach, Ed Rush, and I actually cut out each segment. So not only did they have the description of what I was talking about and why I was doing it, but an actual example. So each piece had several videos in it of the explanation as well as the sample. So that entire process of building the info product took me a day, because all of the video was already done, right? I'd already done some legwork, like recording the 2 live casts, writing the scripts, all of that stuff was already done. But just repurposing the content I already created and breaking it down into a logical format that someone could just go through step by step by step and learn how to craft their own Facebook Live show that's going to get them more engagement, more interaction, getting people to like, love, and share your page, things like that. They'll actually be able to follow it step by step and be able to produce their own show, as well as some throwing bonuses in there, like the Photoshop version of all of my images. So they get as a free bonus, they get the Photoshop, so then they can either just send them to someone on Fiverr to use a template for themselves. And there was another templates I put in there as well.
Very cool.
So again, selling it for $100, $200, whatever, is an automatic upsell when they download the free product or the free giveaway. So very similar, repurposing, and that's my whole strategy, is all about repurposing. All of these shows are going to get repurposed in so many different ways: podcasts, books.
We're talking about repurpose. When I wrote my book in 3 weeks, that's how I did it, because I repurposed one of the talks that I did. I think it was last January now, not this past January, but or maybe it was this January. When did I write the book? Was it this year? Remembers? I think it was this January. It's so crazy. But anyway, I did one talk, and it was a 45-minute talk. And from that one talk, because I record everything that I do, I transcribed that, looked at it, and said, "This is really, really great content." Added, a little bit more into it to make the chapters, and boom, I had a book in 3 weeks. So it's one of the ways that repurposing is the most important thing. And so when you talk about repurposing now, let's look at what I just did on the weekend. Now I've got a Kajabi course. Now I'm going to take the audio from that and again transcribe it, and now I can have a book out of that, or I can have a lot of downloads or a lot of PDFs, a lot of free lead magnets talking about one specific thing, just from the audio that's already done. And I don't have to really worry about what am I going to write about. It's already there. Yeah, and that's my exact authority acceleration program to a T, is doing one thing and then repurposing it in so many different ways. So for my formula, it works out that I do a 1 hour show, and then I cut it up. It becomes 5 to 7 different video clips. The 1 hour show gets edited, so it becomes a video podcast and then an audio podcast. There's a transcription of the entire show. That transcription is turned into at least 2 different blog articles, as well as that transcription is a chapter in a book. So from just one show, you've got blog articles, social media tweets, images created, podcasts, chapter in a book, and just
I'm never going to have to worry about trying to come up with content for the next year. I have enough content right now to do for an entire year or more just from these shows that I've did over the last 3 months.
Exactly. Put in the hard work right now, and then you just use it for the rest of the next year or two, and just focus on building up your fan base, getting customers in, using that content.
That's my everything I do now is all about, okay, how can I repurpose this? How can I leverage this one thing I'm doing into 4 or 5 different things, specifically for the purpose of repurposing it and providing more value, because not everybody consumes information the same way.
Exactly.
Some people like the live show. Some people like podcasts. Some people like video podcasts. Some people like to read a book. Others just want quick blog articles. People are on different social media platforms. So maybe it's Instagram. They want to see that image with a quote on it or a saying, or maybe it's on Facebook video or Instagram video or Twitter, linking them to a little something else. You just have to do a lot of the different things, but it's so time consuming to do all of that. So if you can repurpose it, just do it once and just use that same piece on all these different platforms, it really it reduces the amount of time that you actually have to invest in creating all this stuff.
That's right. Exactly right.
And I see our friend Nobby just joined us. Well, welcome, Nobby. And if anyone else that just joined us today, I'm speaking with my good friend and fellow coach, Joey Ragona. Over the past 5 years, Joey and I have worked to become trusted authorities when it comes to new world marketing strategies and implementation. Joey is also an in-demand high-performance coach and email digital marketing consultant with a proven track record, and is behind the success of small business owners and entrepreneurs because of his national level of connections and business skills. Myself, I focus on helping you accelerate your authority in your business or field of expertise, and I do that by helping entrepreneurs, business owners, authors, experts, and speakers get seen, get heard, get noticed on any device, anywhere, anytime, using proven strategies, delivering tremendous value, and leveraging your time, content, and new positioning assets all within 100 days. So it's a Q&A session today. If you have any questions, just type them in the comment section. We'll get to them during the show. And as always, please like, love, and share this video feed on your Facebook, as well as any Facebook pages or groups that you belong to. So, next topic.
Yeah, sure.
What do you come up with a topic? Let me see.
What do you want to talk a little bit about email marketing?
Sure.
So, how are you email marketing? Why don't you start off?
Very poorly.
Okay. You want to talk?
So the majority.
Which one are you using? Which programs are you using? Anything you want to give some advice?
Just switched from Instant Customer, which it was more of an autoresponder than it was a CRM, and I'm just switching to Agile CRM, which allows me to visually map out campaigns, tag people. It's very much like an Infusionsoft without a lot of the confusion.
Right.
Sure, it's not quite as powerful, but it's extremely powerful. And for someone who doesn't want to spend hours and hours and weeks learning a new solution, it actually was relatively quick and easy to get up and running. And I just ran my first campaign. Now, I need to transition because the majority of my people on my list are people in the real estate space. Yeah. So I need to hence start building some more free products to transition into more entrepreneurs, business owners, authors, experts, speakers space, and to have more giveaways that I can generate more leads and then focus on them. But in the real estate space, it's just been primarily not a lot of value, just delivering just whenever I have some sales or opportunities, delivering those out. I know that I should be delivering value. So even with that list, I will be promoting the shows that I've done in the past on a regular basis, just to deliver some actual value to people for that. But moving forward in the different segment, the entrepreneur segment, it's really going to be gathering people's contact information, but really delivering a ton of value. Just keep them going back to the website to consume content in different ways, like the different videos, the different clips, the different blog articles, just on a continuous basis, so that when I do a webinar, or if I do have or I'm promoting a product or a service, that they've received 10 to 20 times more value than me just delivering a for sale.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
The real estate has always just been the for sale, not value. So I wanted to switch that up.
Well, that's a good point. I mean, hopefully some real estate people will listen to what your message is, because we both come from that space. I'm still in the space, and I've been promoting a lot of the how to get joint venture partners, or how to raise money in a different way, which is what we're talking about here, which is delivering value to people, and not by giving them real estate deals and all this other kind of stuff. Nothing wrong with that, but they're just so used to that. So I've always come at it from the point of view of a marketing perspective, which has created a whole new movement in that space for raising capital, which is pretty awesome. But you have to be the right person in order to understand that, and understand that it takes a while for you to build up a relationship in any business. And in the real estate space, as you know, it's very hard to tell somebody this is going to take you a little while to do, and they're like, they want it now.
They want that instant gratification.
Exactly. But now I think it's starting to get around enough, at least if you're on my list, if you're in my space, that. And even if you read any of my sales copy, I tell you straight up, this is what it's going to do. Like, I can help you find money or whatever that is, but don't expect it to be happening in 30 days and all this other kind of stuff. And I would love for that to happen. I would love for you to walk out of my seminar today and pick up a joint venture partner in the cab, right? That would be awesome for me. But that's not going to happen. It's not the norm. So I think that honesty is so important in marketing these days, and a lot of people do not have it. But there are, in our space, it's awesome, but when we kind of move out of it and we see like regular marketers, if you want to call them that, there's just not. It's just a lot of just hype in any business. So I think that what we're talking about here translates over to any business that you're in.
That's
real
right.
estate, digital marketing, whatever it is.
Right? It doesn't matter what the product or service.
Yeah, give value. How can you give value?
And that's something, it's taken me some time to really, for it to sink in. Not that I didn't understand it, but for it to actually really sink in, and for me to understand it. So in transitioning, I knew that was the path that I had to take, was just deliver way more value. And that's from following people, the people that we follow, as well as I've spent a lot of time watching Gary Vaynerchuk videos over the past 5 years. Since that guy, just after the wine library, but when he was started into the others, really into the social media stuff, before he started VaynerMedia and all of that. Just in his commitment and the constant, just delivering the value, the jab, 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 right hook, the thank you economy, things like that. So, it's taken me some time to transition it, but I really get it and I understand it, and starting to use and deliver that model more consistently with what I'm doing now.
Yeah, because you know what the thing is that, John, if you're not in that space, if you don't get it, see, this is where the thing is, that on the conceptual level, everybody understands what we're talking about, but it's the deeper level that a lot of people don't get to, where their emotions kick in, or their belief in whatever they're doing kicks in, or non-belief, and they I understand that, I've read the book, it's an awesome book, great book, put it down. The next day they're chasing an opportunity, or they're in a seminar, promising them that they can make $1 million tomorrow. So and the reason I'm saying this is that they're still wasting all this time in all these seminars, all these opportunity chasers, right? And they've wasted years trying to look for the right opportunity, and gets them nowhere. Whereas if they would have done what they read in Gary's books 3 years ago, the same amount of time, 3 years later, they would have been, 10 times further than they are right now, because they're still in the same position looking for that big opportunity, right? And so I've always known that I guess that model, because I've grown up as an entrepreneur. I've never had a job. I don't chase opportunities. I mean, I shouldn't say that. Sometimes the shiny object is there. But most of the time, if somebody said it's going to take you X amount of time to do this, I have no problem with that. I don't wait for the money tomorrow. Like I put out an email promotion and expect to make thousands of dollars. If it makes me $1, I'm happy because I'm going, hey, it's $1 more I didn't have yesterday. What did I do right? What did I do wrong?
Yeah.
Right? I think that's what it's all about, is like taking that next step. And even if you didn't make a dime, even if you sent out a promotion on emails or something, you don't make a dime. Well, why? What happened? What went wrong? What did you do? What was the response? How many opt-outs did you get? Like, so all these things matter. All the measurements matter when you look at it. It's not just pressing a button, cut and paste, press a button, and you're a millionaire. It's like your job is to measure everything.
Yeah. No, it's and sometimes it just takes some of us longer to realize it than others. I know. And Nabi made a comment, hindsight is a wonderful opportunity to find out what could have been. BSO is BS.
Well, that's the way it is. It's always about hindsight. People have 20/20 vision, but that's where the belief comes into play. So we always look at, that's where we want to go, but I'm not confident enough in order to get there. One of my biggest strategies, looking at, when I first started my businesses back when I was 19, 20 years old, was the fact that I looked back at what I did over the last 3 months. I never was the visionary person. I never was the, here's what the goals are going to be. I didn't write things down. Mm-hmm. I was more of, that's where I want to go. I don't know how I'm going to get there. I don't really care how I'm going to get there, but that's what I want to do. So I had a vision that way without any fear. But I always look back going, okay, I did this, I really screwed up here, or I did this, that really worked, let me continue to do that. So the backwards thinking, works for me. It really does, because I always look back every week going, what did I do right? What did I do wrong? That's the only way I use hindsight.
Yeah. Yeah, because you learn from your mistakes and analyzing, your past, what you did in the past to make adjustments to move forward, hopefully in a better direction. And one thing that I took from when I was just starting out in the real estate, and what made me successful at the beginning, was just consistent persistence, just day in and day out, doing the things that I knew I needed to do on a regular basis without getting too worried about too far down the road. Just, what do I need to do today that's going to move me forward? What do I need to do today that's going to get me some leads, get me some opportunities to get me in front of people? So I've taken that same mentality when I started this show. It's like, okay, it's consistent persistence. What do I need to do every single day in order to accelerate my authority? So if I focus on like 100 days or 200 days or a year from now, it's just, a lot of times it's too far ahead. But when you break it down into the tasks that you need to do on a daily basis, it becomes much more manageable. And if you just focus on those specific tasks day in and day out. Okay, I need to do this show. I need to write the script. I need to get a guest. If I don't have a guest, I need to come up with a topic, but I need to do the show. And then continue on. I need to do the show. I need to do the show. And then it's like, okay, well, now I've got the outsourcers. They're doing the transcriptions. They're cutting up the videos. They're writing some blogs. They're getting me some social stuff. Okay, I just need to keep doing this while they're doing that. And then I can start promoting that stuff that they're doing. But every day, I just know what I need to do is certain things every day in order to move it forward. And provide
and that's a
value.
Big thing. Back when I started my business, the personal development space was not very popular. Tony Robbins was around, and he was just starting out, but at the same time, it wasn't really popular for coaches and stuff like that. And today, the information was not as available as it is today. So it kind of really blows my mind. And it's kind of like, well, we're coaches. Of course, I'm going to be biased to getting coaches. Mm-hmm. But seriously, if I wasn't a coach and I was still looking at the market and going, holy crap, whatever I want to do, all I need to do is search out someone who's doing that, who's willing to tell me how to do it, right? Yeah. And follow the pattern, and I can do the same thing. It doesn't guarantee I'm going to be as popular or as rich as this dude is, but if it's the right person, authority, authentic, and all the good stuff, you get the right person. Let's take all the other crap out. If you find that person, there's a lot of them out there, right? And just follow that and be willing to pay for that education. Man, I just don't understand why people don't do more of that, because if I had that back, 35 years ago, I don't know where I would be today. I would.
There's that hindsight. There's that hindsight again. If I only knew 35 years ago what I know now.
Well, it wasn't available then.
No, it
That's
wasn't.
what I'm trying to say. Like there was
the internet was
just
coming on. I mean, I can remember university and then Macs were just prevalent. There was still more DOS machines than there was Macs, and it was just always a fight to get a Mac computer at the computer lab, and there was a lab with only so many computers that you had to try to fight to get space to use a computer if you wanted to type out your report. Otherwise, you're using a typewriter. I'm really dating myself now, but
right, I hear you.
Otherwise, you're using a typewriter. And Nobby made some good comment. People need to realize that they only have one opportunity at life, and it's not a dress rehearsal.
That's right.
So you need to.
The thing is that when we talk about the stuff that used to be, or back then, it was the coming of the information age, right? It was like we're going into the information age, where it was scarce. Information was scarce,
yeah.
and so it was really cool to get the information. Right now, it's completely different. It's not about information. It's not about where do I find the information, because you Google anything and you'll find whatever it is you want to find. You'll find way
more
too
than
much
you want to know.
information. Yeah. So where we are now is in the knowledge knowledge age. Whereas, what's the right information to use today? And that's where people like yourself and myself, that's our space, that's what we do. We filter out all the crap and say, here's what you need to know, here's what you need to go do. And that's where the value is. That's what I'm saying was never available before. I guess it was. I guess I wasn't looking for it, but it was never available to the degree it is now, where there's so many coaches and so many experts, so many authorities doing their stuff, that all you need to do is focus on, I want to go do that. Let me follow Gary. He's doing the best on that. And let me just follow his model and do it.
Yeah, there's so much content. It's really, you need to step back and you need to understand the context that the content is going to be used for, and then executing. So the context and the execution, a lot of that's what a lot of times you're paying for coaches for, because the information is all out there. If you want to consume it, you can consume it anywhere. It will take you time to consume it. But it's the context, it's the execution, and it's compressing that time frame. That's where the value of working with individuals and coaches comes into play. So,
well said.
That's all the time that we have for today, Joey. I want to thank you again for joining me, and thanks for everybody for watching the show. And I'll be back tomorrow for another great episode. And Nobby's my featured guest tomorrow. So Nobby and I were going to talk about some outsourcing. We're going to talk about Nobby's entrepreneur journey. We're going to talk about we're going to talk about financial services, a whole bunch of different things that Nobby's been involved with over his life. And so, yeah, it should be a great episode. Nobby's a great character, so it should be a good time. So hopefully you guys will all join me tomorrow. And with that, I'm going to close out, and I'll be just have these closing remarks. So thanks again, Joey.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Well, thanks for joining me on today's John A. McCabe Show, where we work with entrepreneurs, business owners, authors, experts, and speakers get seen, get heard, get noticed anywhere, anytime, on any device. Now, also known as the Authority Acceleration Blueprint. Now, if you're someone who's looking to take your business to the next level and want to get some coaching advice, why not apply to be a guest on today's show? Now, for most entrepreneurs, we want to create a life of our own, create our own path, and do what we can to reach our own desired outcome, which is generally freedom. Freedom to choose what we want to do, when we want to do it, and with whom we want to do it. A life that's full of options and choices, where we worry less about money and more about the quality of time that we spend with others. Now, a great way to make that happen is to leverage other people's knowledge, time, and skill sets. Step one to reaching our freedom life is to realize that you can't do it alone. Working with a coach or being involved in masterminds is a great way for entrepreneurs to move their business forward. Now, a coach can help you shorten the time frame to get you from where you are to where you want to be, while being part of a mastermind is meant to bring entrepreneurs together, all with the goal of helping each other move forward with their business. Now, the second step to creating the life you envision for yourself as an entrepreneur is to implement systems into your business so you can streamline your operations, leverage systems, and free up your time to focus on your family, having fun, and the highest leverage activities in your business. the activities that get you the biggest return on your time invested, the ones that truly make you money. Now, sometimes we just don't know what systems we need, how to implement those systems, or even have the time to find out what is needed. Now, working with a coach or consultant that understands, uses, and specializes in systems that can streamline your operations can help save you time, aggravation, and make you a lot more money. Now, for example, having a system or strategy that allows you to leverage just 15 hours of your time into enough repurposed content to get you seen, get you heard, get you noticed anywhere, anytime, on any device is a great example of leverage. Now, just imagine a system where you invest just 15 hours of your time, and the end result is you're a #1 best-selling author. You have enough content that's going to get you seen, get you heard, get you noticed anywhere, anytime, on any device. You have a successful podcast. Now it's automatically attracting more attention, giving more value, and generating more leads, which enables you to attract an abundance of paying customers. Now this is also known as the Authority Acceleration Blueprint. Now to find out more about the Authority Acceleration Blueprint, coaching program, or mastermind, then contact me via my website at johnamccabe.com or connect with me through my show's Facebook page. Now again, thank you for joining us on today's show, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's show when I have another great guest on discussing their business and accelerating their authority. So have yourself an amazing day, and I look forward to seeing you again real soon.